Good morning. Welcome to the London session. I hope you're doing well. Um, Today is Thursday, and we do have rate announcement on the British pound. So I am actually not touching that pair or any pound pair whatsoever. So stay away from the British pound for this morning, and then maybe in New York session you can revisit it and then see what it's actually going to give you. All right, so don't do anything on the British pound for this morning. Dollar index, we have retraced to optimal trade entry, and I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. So I'm looking for one more push to go and attack this high here. Now that can require maybe New York session for that to happen. We also have that rate announcement on dollar, so maybe that can influence the dollar index to push higher. So we are currently looking for this to go up. So Euro will be looking to go down. I'm looking at this level as the next round liquidity. We are trading the optimal trade entry, but because of the rate announcement on the pound, it can affect Euro pound, and then in subsequent affect the Euro as well. So you want to stay away from the Euro and the pound for this morning, and then look at them during the New York session. New Zealand, however, yesterday I was anticipating them to go and attack this low and that low, but it didn't do that. For some reason, it failed to do it, and it has a relative strength because of the Aussie New Zealand. So this morning, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this range high to that range low. Okay, and then using this optimal trade entry levels to anticipate and move back down, because we do have a bearish dealing range here. Price took out this high, broke down, took out this low, and it's pulling back. So I think it's just coming into premium, and it'll go down again. So you can anticipate a sell-off from this area. All right, same thing applies to Aussie. I was anticipating this OTE to send us for this low, but it failed to do so, and it's trading up. So you can use this optimal trade entry area for a sell-off. All right, so that's what I'm anticipating on this one as well. Dollar CAD yesterday, they did stop me out and then went my way, and we spoke about how to anticipate stop rate yesterday. So I'm on the sidelines. I'm not touching it. The reason why I'm not touching it is because there is a bit of weakness in CAD. And because of that, it can go up or go down, because currently the dollar index is kind of, I'll say weak, but it's in a small little range. So this morning I'll require a bit of more data, especially on the H4. Okay, in the H4 I want to see some kind of a close above a down candle before I do anything with it. If not, then I'm staying away until I see something that makes sense to me. Now on the daily time frame, they have confirmed a swing low here, right? So we'll be looking for this high to be taken, but I want to see some kind of a 4-hour, maybe a 4-hour swing low here, right? A close above that high with this swing low in place, and then maybe I might be interested. But as it is now, I am not interested. Okay. Euro pound is still waiting for that news event. So you can see how price has stayed in a tight range since yesterday, and it's not doing anything. It's still waiting for that news event. Now, I don't know which side it's gonna go. I wish I knew, so I can position myself, but I don't. But I can take an educated guess, and I say it will come up. Okay, that's the educated guess. It will come up, but I don't know. So if I was to say pick one side and take a trade, I'll pick a buy to go up. And the reason is I think it's kind of accumulating down in here because it's not dropping as much as it's supposed to. So that looks like accumulating to me. And with news event, they can use it as a, rejection. Plus, if you look at the Euro pairs, Euro New Zealand, Euro Aussie, Euro Yen, they're all looking to push higher, right? Euro Aussie especially is in optimal trade entry this morning, so it makes sense that it can push higher. Don't get me wrong, the pound pairs are also in discount relative to its daily range. So this is what I'm talking about. Right, this is in discount. Right, we are in discount here. Euro Yen also wants to push higher, as you can see. Euro New Zealand, I've not looked at that pair yet, but that will also be in discount here, right? So it looks to me that it might go up. Okay, so if it's gonna go up, then the news event might cause this to push higher. Okay, but I'm not saying you should go in and take a trade. I'm just saying, with an educated guess, that's what I would do. Gold, so gold, I'm expecting it to drop one more time. We've actually now traded to the breaker. Yesterday I was looking at this imbalance to see if price can stay and then go lower, but it didn't for some reason, and they've kind of taken out previous day's high here into a breaker. So I want to see price give a drop to attack this low here. Now if we do close above this, which I don't think we have yet, these are all wicks. Okay, on the H4 we've got about 16 minutes. If we do close above it, I will be a little bit skeptical in terms of the continuation to the downside, because they've taken out this low here, right? So if they do close above it, I'll be a little bit skeptical. So I'll wait till this H4 candle close in the next 16 minutes, and then I can make some kind of a judgment as to what to do next. All right. Okay. Crude oil yesterday melt off. I think during our live session we talked about this, and I told you guys I went short above it just before we started the session. as soon as you rated that, and I gave you the draw on liquidity to be here, and they went for it. Okay, so I'm currently out on oil. I don't have a bias yet, but I will see maybe New York session what it might do. We do have an auto block here, so if it does come up there, that can be a potential sell idea. Bitcoin, yesterday we talked about this high, and if price is able to close above it on a daily basis, we look for a buy. If it doesn't, don't do anything, because it could be just, as you can see, stop run and then move to the downside. So it might trade, looking at what it's done so far, I think it's gonna trade in here. All right, so look for ideas to trade down here. Same thing applies to Ethereum. Look for ideas to trade here. Okay, let's go over here. All the yen pairs, they are doing exactly what I anticipated this week that they were going to do. I have been in the dollar yen from down here, and I got another entry here. So the one I took down here has been closed, so I'm now riding one, and then here two. So I took a trade on those levels that you see. Okay, so those levels, anytime price finds support using, this is a stop rate, it's a breaking market structure into an imbalance in a predetermined level. Same thing here, predetermined level, right? Trade idea forming there, and we're looking for higher prices. Okay, so the next upside objective is the 134810. That's where I think price is going. And obviously I gave you all the yen pairs, so if you're not in any of them, that means you are not listening. Okay, but just know that it's a pullback, it's not a reversal, right? So don't hold on to the bias for too long, because I'm just anticipating OTE. So my next target, once we reach here, I'm not going to take any more entries, because now we are in premium. So I'll just be taking partials, and then I'll leave the rest to go up there. Same thing with CAD. I managed to get into CAD today, so this level is where I'm anticipating them to go, but partial out here above that high. Okay, and then the rest I'll look up there. The Swiss has declined to be strong. It's not moving, right? And it did not actually trade to that level that I mentioned yesterday on the daily time frame, right? So that's why this is still going up. So I'm not touching it until what I mentioned. That's okay. Now this can be OTE to go and attack these highs before we reject, because on the weekly time frame we traded to the mean threshold of this down candle, right? So it can be a run above this high, but based on what I've taught you, as soon as this high is taken, it's going to trigger a sell-off. Why? Because we took out a previous week high. I'm sorry, this one here. So that's a previous week high. They took it over there, and then price broke down. So liquidity is going to be residing above that high. So if they manage to get there, I will anticipate price coming down again. Same thing applies to the New Zealand Swiss. If you go into the weekly, we have this high going above all these highs. So if they do take out the high, I like this, right? Once they take it, I will anticipate a stop run. Also, you can use some of the ideas that I've taught you about stop rates. So if price is going to attack a high, okay, we want to see, does it go above it more than the 127 level? So 127 being here, does it trade above the 127? If it does trade above the 127, then it's not a raid, but as long as it stays below the 127, we will consider that as a raid. You can apply those ideas above it as well. Okay. Aussie CAD, I was anticipating a sell-off here yesterday, and they decided to go into a deeper pullback. So maybe this week might not be the week that we target those lows. We are looking here, right, for a rejection to unfold, and then we look for continuation to the downside. Okay, so look up there for a rejection, and then we look down here. We've already talked about Euro Aussie, which is what I said. Maybe the Euro Pound might give the rejection to go up, and then that can push this one higher. This pair, I don't know what it's trying to do. It rejected a previous day high, and it's still yet to, I think it, yeah, it's yet to take out and close below this swing low. You can see it attacked that low and then rejected. I want to see them actually break it, right? And then once they break it, then I'll be looking for lower prices. For now, it's still stuck in this long-winded sideways market, so I'm not interested. And then pound CAD yesterday, beautiful sell, almost got to final TP, and I took everything out here, exactly there, because I've done it and I've seen it over and over again. Plus we are in a bullish market on this, right? So there's a potential that this might not get to that level, and since it was trading at OTE, it makes sense to close everything. I was anticipating it to take out this before going up, but it's failed to do that. Now, does it mean I'm going to buy? The answer is no. I am not touching it because of the rate announcement on pound. It can't go anywhere, and I don't want to gamble. Okay, I've got the beautiful 2 cells, 3 cells on that. That's it. Everything closed, and then I'll wait for more information. Okay, and then the indices market, I think Friday it's the big day. Maybe it might come back down for a pullback. When it does, we are anticipating a low to form. We are anticipating a low to form in mid-August, or probably towards the end of the third week of August. So you can see from this we could retrace. Okay, I didn't have enough. Right, we could do something like that. Okay, so if it does show signs of retracement, you're looking at OTE relative to this low and wherever the high forms, right? You can day trade longs, but where we are now, because we are above this high, is a little bit dangerous, so be mindful, right, not to get caught in that bullish move. It can continue going up, don't get me wrong, but don't get caught in that. Okay, and then you do the same thing for the rest. Yesterday I think I had a sell idea, here, and that didn't go well. I didn't take it. I just put it there as a paper trade, and it didn't go out. It didn't go according to plan. And then S&P 500 on the daily is similar to the Nasdaq. It looks to me they might attack this before any retracement. If we are retracing for a continuation to the upside, I think this one looks cleaner because there are gaps on the downside, so it looks cleaner. The Nasdaq also has a gap here, so that's not bad. So wherever they're going to retrace from, you want to make sure that there is a gap at 618 or 70.5 level. So wherever they start the retracement, once we measure the range, we want to see if there will be a gap between the 618 and the 70.5 retracement level. Okay, all right, let's go back here and look at the dollar index. Okay, dollar index is still inside that fair value gap. It's not doing anything, it's just consolidating, right? So don't get caught in the up movement that is happening on them, because it could just be retracing and then going back down again. So don't get caught in that. Stay with this, all right? Because if we are bearish on the foreign currencies, this is supposed to be going down, but you can see this one is not. So everything going on the foreign currencies, quote unquote, it's just manipulation. All right, so that's that. Any question? Any questions so far? Because if there's no question, what I'm going to do is just relax for 12:45. and then sorry, 12:30. Is it 12:30? Let me double check. $12. Yeah, between 12 o'clock and 12:30. That's when the news it's. So then I'll come back. All right, I guess there's no questions, so I'm gonna take the lead, and I'll touch base with you in the afternoon at 2 p.m. and then from there maybe the announcement on pound would have given us something. All right, so then we can take advantage of it. If not, then we leave everything because it's NFP tomorrow, right? So because of NFP, we're not pushing it. Okay, so have a pleasant morning, and then I'll see you in the afternoon for our New York session. Also, don't forget, next week Tuesday is my last session. So if you do have any question, feel free to ask as you have time. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day.